Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
A year ago today, Thanks to Them aired on Disney Channel. It was, of course, the first of 3 hour-long specials that aired as a part of the 3rd and final season of The Owl House, which kind of acts like an Owl House movie. I think the show's finale was really satisfying, but if you're an animation fan who's spent any time on the internet, you're likely in one of 2 camps. You're either still trying to get over The Owl House having ended back in April, or you're absolutely sick and tired of hearing about it. If you're like me, you fall in the latter camp. It seems like Disney can't post anything without getting nasty comments about the Owl House. Guys, the intern has no control over anything. So for anyone who's still upset about the end of the Owl House, I'm here to give you some advice to hopefully help get you through it. That's right, welcome class to my first ever seminar, The Owl House was great, but how do I get over it already? Or, the 5 stages of grieving the end of your favorite TV show. The first one's most certainly a much more catchy title. Obviously, the show is over, and we're already well past this stage, but I think it's still worth talking about this one because a lot of people still don't seem to understand how these shows get made. When the announcement was made that The Owl House would only be getting 3 hour-long specials for Season 3, a lot of people made impassioned pleas to Disney for them to change their mind. But the die was already thoroughly cast. When an animated show is greenlit for a new season, they have to lock down a budget. After all, those animation studios aren't cheap. Once that happens, there can be a little bit of wiggle room, but for the most part, the budget you have to work with is the budget you have to work with. Time is literally money when you're creating everything frame by frame. There has been so much blame that's been thrown around. I think we can all agree that Disney made a really stupid decision by not greenlighting the show for a full 3rd season, and of course, the reason has been disputed. I did already talk about the show's Season 3 renewal in my video on the history of LGBTQ rep in Disney TVA shows. But to recap everything that happened again, in an AMA on Reddit, Dana explained the show was given a shorter order, not because of ratings or COVID, but rather because business people at Disney believed it didn't, quote, fit into the Disney brand. They said that this was the case due to the show being serialized and having an audience that skews older. This, combined with budget cuts, led to a shortened 3rd season to wrap things up, and no possibility of a 4th season. A lot of fans, unsurprisingly, have read into it that this happened in bad faith. Because I can't deny that it looks bad. But reading homophobia into it just doesn't take into account how these shows get made. S&P's standards have changed. The show was pitched and approved with all of the LGBTQ representation in mind. Lumity was planned from the beginning of Season 1. The crew was given warning that they would only get the 3 hour-long specials for Season 3, and were able to rewrite Season 2 as a result. If the show was actually shortened due to homophobia, why would they have been given that? Why wouldn't they have just pulled the plug and ended the show without warning? So many other shows have gotten completely screwed by Disney that honestly, I think it's insulting that people are still complaining to this day that The Owl House was treated like garbage. Yes, it's a bummer. Yes, there's things you can tell they wanted to do more with but didn't have time. Yes, it was a very short-sighted decision on behalf of the executive who made it. But I think we still got a great finale, and Disney Channel made a point of treating every episode like an event. And seriously, so many other shows have been treated so much worse. The Owl House was ultimately just a victim of circumstance. But what I didn't talk about in the LGBTQ video was the other side of the coin. The shifting demographics that were cited as the official reason why the show didn't get picked up for more episodes. So, unsurprisingly, some fans on Twitter will complain about pretty much any other show. So, really quick, I want to run down the list of shows that have nothing to do with The Owl House getting a shorter 3rd season. The other shows are not responsible for anything that happened to The Owl House. So please stop pitching all sorts of negativity at the social media interns or fans of other shows. It's not gonna accomplish anything. A lot of fans are clinging to the hope that there's going to be a spin-off series or a graphic novel like Gravity Falls got, or something. And that may come eventually, but it probably won't be for a while. Alex Hirsch has maintained a working relationship with Disney this whole time, whereas Dana has officially left Disney. That doesn't mean that she couldn't come back in the future, but she's tired. I think anyone would be after working on multiple different shows before ultimately creating her own. So you can absolutely ask Disney nicely for more Owl House content in the future, and it may happen. What's not going to happen, however, is a quote-unquote Dana cut of the show where they go back and remake the entire series from the middle of season 2 how Dana would have wanted to do it. First of all, Dana doesn't even know what she would do differently. They had some ideas, but nothing was ever written by the time they got the news that the show would be ending. So, in the hypothetical world where Disney suddenly had the money to do that and was willing to, it wouldn't be like they could just dust off the original plan and do that, because there is no original plan. Second of all, Disney's absolutely not doing that. I think it's really easy for fans, especially young adults, to get so wrapped up in a show like The Owl House that once it's over, it's hard to move on. It's totally okay to be upset that the show didn't go on for longer, but there's a lot of other fans out there who feel the same way that can help you through this. Ultimately, I think the key to getting through it is to embrace the show we did get instead of continuing to feel miserable because we could have gotten more but didn't. Focus on the good, not the bad. The Owl House is complete, and it's readily available to watch on Disney Plus whenever you want. The great thing about a TV show that actually got a satisfying finale is that you can go back and rewatch the whole show from start to finish. But eventually you'll want to find something new. Disney TVA has been developing a whole bunch of new animated shows for Disney Plus. There's still shows like Molly McGee and Moon Girl that you should definitely check out if you haven't. And of course, there's plenty of shows out there that aren't Disney shows to watch too. Looking for another show set in a unique fantasy world? Check out Hilda. Looking for something with strong LGBTQ representation? I know a certain killer doll who can help you with that. But you'll never know if you don't start looking. And who knows? Disney might eventually bring Dana back on board to make comics, or maybe even a spin-off at some point in the future. But that's not going to happen for a while. Good news is that, like any show, whether or not it had a finale, you have the ability to create your own content. You can make fan art and fan comics. You can write fan fiction. There's a whole community out there you can interact with. The show may be over, but the portal's still open. You can visit the Boiling Isles whenever you want. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. We're getting closer to hitting 7,000 subscribers, and the best way you can help me out is to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I also want to hear from you guys. What was your favorite part of the Owl House? Who's your favorite character? Let me know in the comments, I'd love to get a discussion going. Click the card on the left to hear me talk about theory videos, or the one on the right for the video I did on LGBTQ representation. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.